Let's dive into the full and narrated chapter of One Piece 1138. Are you ready? Let's go after the intro. Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Before we jump to the content of this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Now, let's get to the video. Cover story, title, Harley. In Japanese, it means sacred text. Cover story, Yamato and his group encounter Who's Who at a secret base. He's wearing a Wano outfit, but with his mask, and is drinking with his subordinates and a few geishas. Page 1, and Loki resists the sacred knights, but the chapter starts showing Loki with his head down, trembling, breathing heavily. Uff. As the sacred knights move away from the giants, Loki asks a question. Loki says, "Your face looks so much like his. Don't tell me you're not related to that pirate, the red-haired one?" Shamrock stays silent, maybe uncomfortable with the question. Gunko then responds, "Watch your mouth, insolent. This is not something you need to know." Page 2. Loki agrees and says, "You're right, but a great pirate and a celestial dragon, they're opposites in the world. Having the same face, it's hard not to wonder, don't you think?" Shamrock then decides to respond. "That pirate is my younger twin brother, whom I've been separated from for a long time. He did return to the Holy Land, but it seems he likes this dirty lower world." Note, in the original, Shamrock uses the term shake for world, which in Buddhism can refer to the underworld or a lower realm. Loki then says, "He came back? I see. My anger only grew upon discovering this blood connection. It's interesting to think that both brothers now have a grudge against each other. Remember this, you bastards. When I get rid of these chains, you know what that means, right?" Page 3. Loki continues, "The fate of my friends. You're the one who will pay for this burden." We see the animals all injured on the ground, arrows pinning them. Hearing this, Shamrock looks to the side and says, "Are you threatening me?" Gunko then says, "Captain, don't waste time with someone like him." Shamrock then replies, "Yes, I don't even need to deal with him directly. Right, Cerberus?" At this moment, Shamrock draws his sword and we see 3 heads emerging from the blade. Page 4. This immediately catches Loki's attention. Cerberus presentation box. We see a 3-headed dog, which isn't entirely black. Its eyes are white, and as black clouds swirl around the dog's neck, Loki screams right away, "What? What the hell is that?" From the dog's mouths, we see blades coming out. Shamrock then says, "It's my sword." Translation note here, Shamrock says, "Watashi no kenda," which literally means "it's my sword," but it could also be a wordplay, as ken can mean both sword and dog in Japanese. Plus, blades are coming out of the dog's mouths, reinforcing this wordplay. In short, it's a perfect pun in Japanese. My sword and my dog are the same. Page 5. Loki. Whoa. Gross. What's with these guys? Huh. Referring to Cerberus. Gunko then creates a bird with her arrows and says something important. She says, "Captain, suppress your presence. We're moving." If the translation is correct, they might be suppressing their presence, which could explain why Luffy hasn't sensed them yet. Shamrock agrees and says, "Disperse." The kanjis used mean emergency departure, return. Translation note, the kanji departure in Shanks' divine departure is B, which means to evade, avoid, or repel. The departure in Shamrock's technique is Hasshin, meaning departure, launch, or takeoff. So both brothers use a departure move, but with different meanings. Page 6. The 3 heads of Cerberus detach from the body, just like Queen did, and each one has a sword coming out of its mouth. They are all thrown toward Loki. Gunko and Shamrock escape on a bird formed by arrow symbols, surrounded by Gunko. Shamrock then says, "If you survive, you can come kill me anytime. When that day comes, I'll be your opponent." Loki then says, Hey, don't tell me. If I get pierced by those things, even I could die. Damn it. Celestial dragon. Damn it." Page 7. Loki is pierced in the abdomen by the 3 heads of Cerberus. Shamrock then says, "A quick suppression would be difficult. We need to capture the children of the warriors. Call another one." Gunko says, "Understood. Who should I call?" Perhaps referring to another sacred knight who will be summoned here. Page 8, the scene shifts. Presentation box, Elbaf, Orist Castle. One of the guards says, "It's true, there's no way you could have tricked me." Another giant says, "It was him, yes, the red-haired one." Then Luffy shouts immediately, "This is a lie, there's no way Shanks could have defeated you for no reason." Another giant says, "It's true, the red-haired one came to visit Elbaf." Luffy says, "Shanks is way more cheerful and laid back. He'd never do something unjust, no way." Zoro says, "The red-haired one was in Elbaf recently, right? It wouldn't be strange if he's still around." Luffy says, "But if what you're saying is true, then this isn't Shanks. Shanks is a man of character. He would never do something meaningless like this." Nami says, laughing, "Incredible. What confidence you have in him. Heh. Page 9. Luffy then says, "Of course, Nami, you wouldn't act like this if someone spoke ill of Boromir, would you?" Nami then corrects Luffy, saying, "It's Belmare." The giants then say, "Well, if it's not him, it must be someone very similar to him, maybe a brother." Luffy then says, "Shanks' brother? If he's his brother, I can only imagine someone of good character, that is, if he has a brother. As far as I know, he's been on Roger's ship since he was a kid, and his family is the Roger Pirates, Rayleigh. Except for Buggy, of course." At the same moment Luffy speaks about the Roger Pirates, there's a parallel shot of the man in the hat. This time we see his back and his cloak, which is exactly the same as the one Crocus had in a cover story from chapter 631. We see footsteps. The man is approaching the castle. Page 10, presentation text. Atom Tree. The scene changes. We see Ripley. She is holding Frankie in her hand. They are examining the Atom Tree. Ripley says, "Here and there, all of this is the Atom Tree. There's nothing special. Is it really that rare on the outside? Maybe I should start selling it too." Frankie says, "Don't encourage me, Ripley. Saul just gave me a sermon about it, saying it's a sacred tree, not to cut anything from it." Frankie says, "But if we were to steal this from the giants, we'd have to carry it, and that costs a fortune." Then something catches Frankie's attention. He says, "What's this? A mural?" Page 11. These are scribbles made by children from ancient times that were etched on petrified tree bark, and today, due to their historical value, they are considered a national cultural heritage. Frankie says, "Those scribbles there." Ripley says, "If this estimate is correct, it is believed that this painting was made between 900 and 800 years ago. They are from the lost century." Frankie says, wide-eyed, "What?" Then we have to show this to Robin. I'll tell her later. But this is strange for an Elbaf drawing. They don't look like giants to me. As Frankie speaks, we see some drawings on the mural. A mermaid princess, possibly related to Shirahoshi Poseidon, a robot resembling Emeth, and a creature with strange ears. Page 12. I agree. In our known history, although wars between different races are not unheard of, there shouldn't have been any union. What makes this even clearer is that this painting is nothing but children's drawings. Walrus School. We see children studying happily. The scene changes, and now we go to the Owl Library, where we see Robin and Chopper paying attention to Saul's words. Robin says, "So, this is the Harley?" Saul says, "That's right. Many Elbaf stories were created based on this book, but its interpretation is fragmented." We see the book's covers, right, where we can see the sun, similar to the one from Kuma's church. Chopper says, "What an amazing giant book." Page 13. Saul says, "The warriors of Elbaf believe in different versions of the sun god, each with its own personality." Robin then says, "Can I read it?" Saul says, "Of course, Robin, Derishishi. This story is divided into 3 chapters and 3 worlds. It's said that the current world is the one we are in, and things are still to come. Quietly, the legend of Nika is being told in all of these worlds. What they have in common is that he always appears laughing and doing this. Then Saul does the pose of Nika singing. Robin smiles and says, "Okay, then I'll start reading. The first world, there was fire all over the land. Final double-page spread. While Robin reads, we see Frankie looking at the inscription. Finally, we see the magnificent painting. Description of the painting. The treasure atom tree is at the center of the mural and divides the mural into 2 parts. Above the tree, There's a winged monster demon spitting fire from its mouth. On the right side of the mural, we see several things. On one side, we see a large city being attacked by a huge serpent, and on the other, we see an ark with a king, angels, and animals. In this part, we also see a moon and some people making offerings, which look like stars. This last part resembles the paintings NL found on the moon. On the left side of the mural, we see a large battle. Here is Nika, or Joy Boy, fighting against a huge winged demon that holds the sun in its hands. Nika is fighting alongside giants. One of them has horns, samurais, Lunarians, minks, a mermaid princess accompanied by sea creatures, angels, a robot resembling Imeth, and many ships with humans. One of them appears to be from Alabasta. Then, while we see the mural, Robin reads, and this is what the sacred texts of the book Harley say. The first world, on Earth there is flame. Humanity, consumed by desire, touched the forbidden sun. The enslaved prayed. The sun god appeared. The earth deity became enraged. Along with the serpent of hell's flame, they engulfed the world with death and darkness. They cannot be found again. The second world. In the void, there is breath. The deity of the forest dispatched the demons. The sun did nothing but spread seeds of war. The half-moon people saw a dream. The moon people saw a dream. Men became gods after killing the sun. The deity of the sea grew enraged. They cannot be found again. The third world, in chaos there is void. The disturbed shadow remembers the promised day and hears the sound of the fragmented moon. The sun god dances and laughs, leading the world to its end. The sun will return, and then comes a new morning. They will meet again. End of the chapter, no break, next week. That's it, everyone. That was the full narrated chapter. We'll still bring many analyses and theories. This chapter will officially be released on Sunday through Manga Plus. It's always important to read the official chapter since the official translation is the one that counts. And don't forget to leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. See you next time, and thanks.